Imagine a place where every miracle hides a curse, where every whispered legend conceals a darkness too terrible to name. In the heart of Dunning, Maine, a crumbling church stands as a silent sentinel, a gateway to secrets that have haunted generations. Dare you step inside? In the small town of Dunning, Maine, autumn's chill brought more than falling leaves. It carried murmurs of a long-buried secret. At the edge of town, shrouded by towering pines and a creeping mist, stood St. Bartholomew's Church. Once a beacon of hope, the grand stone facade now lay cracked, its once vibrant stained glass shattered, and heavy oak doors hanging askew as if guarding the painful memories of the past. For generations, the townsfolk exchanged fearful glances and hushed whispers when speaking of the church, convinced that its walls harbored a secret too dark for mortal minds. Jonathan Miller, a determined young journalist with an insatiable curiosity for the mysterious, had grown up on these tales. His grandmother's eyes would glisten with a mix of sorrow and awe as she recounted the church's history, a tale of miracles turned curses, of a man who bargained for divine power only to be devoured by the darkness he summoned. Now, armed with nothing more than a flashlight, a battered notebook, and a digital recorder, Jonathan resolved to uncover the truth behind the legends of St. Bartholomew's. On a crisp October evening, Jonathan approached the church. The fading dusk was swiftly swallowed by an encroaching fog, transforming the once familiar path into a labyrinth of shadows and whispers. With each crunch of dry leaves beneath his feet, his anticipation grew. The front doors, left ajar as if in a silent invitation, creaked ominously as he pushed them open. Inside, the church revealed itself as a cavern of decay and lingering sorrow. Jonathan's flashlight beam skimmed over rows of rotted pews, a cracked marble floor, and walls once adorned with resplendent religious iconography, now marred by time. Amid the dust and lingering shadows, his gaze fell upon an unusual carving above the ornate altar, a spiraling design intertwined with an unfamiliar sigil. It was as if this symbol was a marker for secrets never meant for mortal eyes. As Jonathan stepped closer to the altar, a soft, nearly imperceptible whisper seemed to emanate from the stone. A shiver crept up his spine, yet his determination pushed him onward. The further he ventured, the more surreal the atmosphere became. An inexplicable gust of wind trailed his every move, and as he rounded a corner, the haunting strains of an organ playing echoed through the void, though no instrument could be found. Clearly, the church was not entirely abandoned. In a narrow side chapel, draped in moth-eaten velvet, Jonathan discovered a hidden doorway. Beyond the heavy curtain lay a narrow, winding staircase descending deep into the church's bowels. Driven by both trepidation and resolve, he descended, each creak of the ancient wood amplifying his racing heartbeat. At the bottom, the air grew even colder. The narrow beam of his flashlight revealed a crypt lined with rows of ancient tombs, inscriptions faded, names lost to time. Among these relics, one tomb stood out, a larger, more imposing structure marked with the same mysterious sigil he'd noticed earlier. Its stone door, left slightly ajar, hinted that something or someone had disturbed its long-held slumber. With cautious hesitation, Jonathan pushed the heavy door open to reveal a secluded chamber bathed in an eerie half-light. At its center rested a dusty, leather-bound journal on a pedestal. Though its cover was worn by time, it exuded an undeniable aura of significance. Trembling Jonathan opened the journal and began to read. The entries, penned in a spidery hand, chronicled the tragic tale of Father Abraham, the church's original founder. In desperate times, Father Abraham had forged a secret pact with a dark, otherworldly force. Promised miraculous healing and unearthly power in exchange for his soul, he soon learned that every miracle carried a terrible price. The church, once a sanctuary of hope, had become a prison for a sinister presence. Every few decades, it was said, the tormented spirit of Father Abraham would reemerge, doomed to wander its halls in eternal penance. Jonathan's pulse quickened as he read the final, most chilling entry. I have broken the pact. Yet the darkness endures, bound to these sacred walls. This church is no haven for the faithful. It is a gateway to a realm of eternal damnation. Let it be known that every miracle was a trap, ensnaring not only my soul, but the souls of all who sought salvation here. At that very moment, a deep, resonant sound, a blend of a sigh and an anguished cry, reverberated through the crypt. The ground trembled beneath Jonathan's feet, and the temperature plummeted further. In the far corner, the darkness began to coalesce into a spectral figure. Draped in tattered priest robes, with eyes burning an unearthly light, the apparition of Father Abraham emerged, a tortured remnant of the man who had once sought divine power. The ghost drifted slowly toward Jonathan, its voice a haunting mix of sorrow and fury. You should not have come, it intoned, its words echoing off the cold stone walls. Yet, despite the fear gripping him, Jonathan's resolve remained firm. Tell me, what is the true secret of this church? He whispered. The apparition paused, as if weighing the burden of its own regrets, before speaking slowly. This church was not built merely as a house of worship, but as a sanctuary for a darkness far beyond mortal sins. I, Father Abraham, sought to bring miracles to the people of Dunning, but the power I craved was a lure, a deception wrought by a force beyond understanding. Every healing, every promise of salvation was a trap to capture our very souls. Now, I am condemned to wander these halls, a warning to all who dare to seek forbidden power. As the spirit's confession filled the chamber, the very air trembled with the weight of its sorrow. Jonathan could almost taste the despair and regret in those final words. What must I do? He managed to ask, though uncertainty lingered in his voice. With eyes glistening with a haunting mix of remorse and fury, the ghost replied, some truths are not meant for the living. Beware, the allure of miracles comes at a price more dire than you can fathom. This church is a threshold between our world and a realm where light dares not tread. With those final words, Father Abraham's apparition began to fade, dissolving into the crypt's oppressive gloom. The journal's pages rustled as if stirred by an unseen hand, and then silence reclaimed the chamber. Jonathan stood alone, the weight of a dreadful secret pressing upon him. Clutching the journal tightly, he ascended the hidden staircase, each groan of ancient wood echoing his tumultuous heartbeat. Emerging into the cold night air, the dilapidated silhouette of St. Bartholomew's Church loomed behind him, a grim monument to the eternal struggle between light and darkness. Driving away from Dunning that night, Jonathan's mind was a tumult of revelations. He had uncovered not just the tragic fate of one desperate priest, but a secret that had ensnared the souls of an entire community. The story of St. Bartholomew's was one of ambition, despair, and the perilous allure of power beyond mortal limits, a tale that would forever haunt his dreams and challenge the faith of those who believed in miracles without cost. As the road stretched out before him and the first hints of dawn touched the sky, Jonathan knew that the legacy of St. Bartholomew's Church would not remain buried. Its secret, dark and inescapable, was destined to resurface, reminding all who dared to seek salvation that some doors, once opened, can never be closed again. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into the dark secrets of St. Bartholomew's Church. If tonight's tale sent shivers down your spine and left you craving more mysteries from the shadows, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share your thoughts or theories in the comments below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you never miss another descent into darkness. Remember, every secret has a price, and the night is always watching